Hello and welcome to Southeast Super League TV, proudly brought to you by Horn Industrial Coatings. We're here for the women's competition. I'm your host, Tristan Blacker, joined by Shan and Patterson,
Again.
GM of the Koalas, and one of my favourite people, Dale Taylor, President of Basketball Operations.
Thank you, Tristan.
Thanks, guys. Now, we're here on effectively a new night, recapping the girls' game straight after the girls' game here on Wednesday night. So we'll delve straight into it. It was a pretty good game to start off, really, Shan, wasn't it?
Yeah, not too bad. Good competition.
Yeah, we had the Silverbacks winning 51 to the Tornadoes 49.
Nice and close, actually. Wasn't expecting a 2-point deficit by the Tornadoes. So credit to them. They had the new inclusion of new mum Claire Pappers, which was really exciting for them.
And it was good because I don't think a lot of the girls' games have been that close. So it really went down to the wire and only coming off by 2 points, being a couple of players down as well, the Tornadoes. They did a really good job.
Down by 15, 20 at one stage, so they've really fought back in the dying
It was
minutes.
funny that the Silverbacks, they were winning by a fair bit with Steph Pell just shooting terribly.
Horrendously.
Horrible.
Wasn't it fantastic?
Well, I think if you look at your stats there, I think she finished shooting the ball at like 23%.
21, actually. Oh. Not often that you see that from the old Steph Power. Still love her, but wish we were playing her.
Yeah, no, they did well. And considering the Tornadoes, like you said, Claire Pappers played her first game after having a baby, and she was having a chat with us after the game, and she hadn't played since the SESL finals of 2017. So this is her first game back in such a long time and having a baby. So it's awesome to have her joining the Super League family.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously probably a shout out to our mate Bet Zalik as well, who has also just had a baby, but she's starting to shoot the ball really well.
She is. She's feeling it a little bit around the arc, a bit more at the moment.
So the standouts for the Tornadoes would have been Claire with 10 points and 7 boards, and Taz Pentland finished with 5 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 steals.
3 steals. Yep.
Moving on to the Silverbacks, it's good to see another name on here that's not Claire. It's not Steph Pell
or Bridget Deary.
Yeah,
she's only played one game, but you still the name.
The name. Josie Gonzalez finished with 16 points, 7 boards.
Yeah,
she smashed it.
Shot really high percentage as well. She did not miss many at all. She was just catch from the corner, cash money every time. It was really good to see. And
I reckon she's probably someone we'll be looking at this week and Player of the Week. I think she'll be definitely up there.
72%.
Yeah, there you go. Quality. The other one was Steph Pell finishing with, although dismal shooting, very, very, very dismal shooting, she's finished with 12 points and 14 boards.
How does that happen?
She'd have to be leading the league in rebounds, surely.
Easily.
Yeah, I think so. Very much. Now, moving on to our second game, wasn't as close. It was your Koalas, taking on the Hornets, and you guys got up by 9 points, 50 to 41.
Yeah, not as much as we would like, I don't think, but credit to the Hornets. They really took it at us, and we were really sluggish tonight. Just couldn't get it going.
Yeah, you were, and I mean the Hornets were undermanned, so they had a few players missing yet again. Yeah. But Sam Neal probably led the way with 15 points and 16 boards.
Yep, definitely. She was just all over the court, jumping over people, getting boards, getting down the other end, layup, back down the defensive end, getting another board, just kept going. She's a little gun. Yeah,
and I'd be fair to say that there's lucky that there's 2 Patterson sisters, because if Mum and Dad Patterson come to watch you, they'd be pretty disappointed. But luckily they have Keely, who finished with 22 points, 9 rebounds and an assist.
I think she got a bit disheartened about the rebound comment from the last show that we made. She actually started jumping and put in a few more boards this week, which was good to see.
Yeah.
I'm happy for her to do it.
Yeah, she did really well. A
bit of roasting gets her a long way. 22 points and 9 boards. There you go. You need to roast her more often.
Yeah, that's right. And how'd you go, Shan?
Oh, look, it's one to forget.
I've
had better games.
Surprised you're not in an ambulance in the way bloody you got taken out by Annabelle. Was probably one of the biggest hits I've seen in Super League.
Yep.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It didn't so much.
Now, outside of that, we had the Bears had a bye, so they'll be back next week.
Hopefully they're fit and ready to go, because they've had one game off, one game on, one game off again. I know a few of them are quite sick, so hopefully they can fight that
And they've
get
probably,
back
on paper, they were probably outside of the Silverbacks, are one of the top sides.
Yeah, they definitely were. So, I mean, unlucky.
All right, that concludes our recap of the girls' competition. We'll be back after this break from our sponsors.
Lonsdale Street Auto Electrics, proud sponsor of the Southeast Super League domestic competition. Located at 15 Park Drive in Dandenong, Marty Sanchez and the boys will be able to take care of all your auto electric needs. They have a wide range of services and systems on offer, including GPS tracking for your car, CCTV security systems, and more importantly, with summer just around the corner, they'll be able to sort out your car's air conditioning and get your car nice and cool in time for summer. So go down and see Lonsdale Street Auto Electrics, 15 Park Drive, Dandenong, proud sponsor of the Southeast Super League domestic competition.
Next up, guys, we have the domestic competition, which is brought to you by Lonsdale Street Auto Elect. And we're lucky to have Gregory Wise, the GM from the Emerald Bears, with us.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Thanks, mate. Now, Tuesday night was a cracking round.
There's a couple of really, really good games.
A couple of real close ones, yeah.
Now, first up, we had the Penguins, or the Pengwangs, as they like to be called, versus Greggy's Bears. Penguins winning 56-53. This one, for me, was probably the match of the round. This was a great opener. The 6:30 time slot, we had a heap of people in there. Both teams just going hammer and tongs.
Yeah, it was a really good game to watch, actually. The bigger Penguins taking on the equally big, I suppose. You got a lot of height in the Bears, so it was kind of interesting to see that one play out, and I suppose it was the Penguins getting the chockies at the end. But
it's disappointing. We couldn't do anything.
Did you guys kind of have a bit of a game plan coming in against the Penguins, or?
Well, I told the boys we need to sort of make sure that Patch isn't getting everything he wants inside the key.
Yeah.
And he sort of got everything he wanted inside the key. Liam, obviously, is ridiculous. He's everywhere. 13 points, 14 rebounds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He did the same thing.
But not to mention a couple of steals and 5 blocks as well. He did it everywhere.
It was funny. I was kind of in and out for this game for the most part, keeping an eye on it, and Liam seemed to be heavily tagged by Flanners, the fastest man in the world. And for the most part, you kind of thought that Flanners maybe have got the better of him. And then you look at the stats, and Liam just had an absolute day out.
What you don't notice with someone like Liam is when there's a miss, he's right under the bucket to put it straight back in.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He makes money off getting those easy buckets.
Yeah.
I think we sort of switched to man at halftime as well. And before that, I think Liam was just doing whatever he wanted, getting a million rebounds and getting a million points. So I think as soon as we switched to the man, he might have gotten a lot more quiet.
Yeah, okay. And moving on to your boys, Ryan Briggs had a good game. He had 14 points. Yeah, 3 boards.
He's so good.
And Jordan Campos as well, 13 points and 7 boards. That's a big day out for him.
He's been huge inside. He's super athletic, super strong. He's not my ball carrier, but inside he's super strong.
He seems to bring that hustle, doesn't he?
Yeah,
I think he's a footy player, isn't he?
Yeah,
so he's got that
he
hustle
plays like
mentality.
He works so hard. He's super athletic, so strong inside. You see him go up for rebounds and pull it down out of people's hands and stuff. It's really nice to see.
And James Flannery Dale.
Yes, the fastest man in the universe. Had another fairly quiet night, but once again he's all over it.
But you talk about him in particular. It's the 1%ers that don't go down on the stat sheet.
Correct.
The deflections and just blocking and everything that comes associated with that. It's huge and it's invaluable for your team, but it kind of goes unnoticed.
Yeah, and but I think he's primed for a big one soon. So
he's going off next game.
Yeah, well,
we have a bye this next game, but the game after that, sure.
Yeah, no, he's definitely primed for a big one.
Now, moving on to the next game was the Wizards finally getting in the winner's circle, 47 to the Bulldogs 44, and another great game.
That was such a good game.
So both teams were without a win coming into it, so we knew that one team was going to end up with a W against their name. So
and this one could have gone either way.
Yeah, you could tell both teams came in with a lot of desperation and really wanted to win the game. So it was a cracker to watch.
Yeah, and the Wizards GM Andy Miller led the Wizards in scoring.
Yeah, we haven't seen much scoring on his half, but he shot the ball really well on Tuesday and led from the front.
Yeah, he's a pretty level-headed dude, and I think his, the way he implements himself into the game is going to go a long way for the Wizards in them winning more games.
Yeah, 100%.
And a shout out to Kobe Ross as well. He had a fantastic game with 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. Starting to find his feet in Super League. Playing against some bigger bodies. I think the back end of the second half of the season, he's going to come out and really play some decent basketball.
He drives the ball really well too. Like, he's really quick on that first step. He can get around people, and he absorbs contact really well for a man with a small frame.
Yeah,
absorbs contact and goes up with the shot. So good on him.
And it's funny, like you look at the stats line and go, Aaron Wilson, first round pick, maybe had a quieter game, but
Speaking people due for a big game, he's going to go off soon, mate.
Well, but look at that, like 9 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists. If that's quiet, I'd hate to think what he's going to do in the next couple of weeks.
Well, having said that, he was coming down the court at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and he'd get to the bucket, but he'd just get knocked at the last minute, and he struggled to finish it off.
Yeah.
If he makes 3 or 4 of those, all of a sudden
puts him in the mid-teens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
16 rebounds is so good.
Yeah, he's got to be up there with the league leaders. It'd be him and Patch for sure, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. Moving on to the Bulldogs, as you said, they're still winless, but they've got a very, very good list.
Dude, they're one good shooting game away from winning a game.
Yeah.
They've been so close. I think they've been within one shot and most of their losses.
And that was the thing. I had a chat with those boys at the end of the game, and we're looking through the stats, and they put up 12 more shots. So it's that shooting efficiency that's probably letting them down a little bit, and just that polish, around the basket. But I actually think these guys, the Bulldogs, could still play finals if they wanted to.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they've had, I think, probably 5 close losses. Every loss.
Everyone's been pretty much within one shot.
Yeah.
Until something's gone wrong at the end or something like that. But it's been real close up until the last second.
Yeah, they're only sort of just within an inch of a win, I think. So
yeah, and shout out to our mate Beggy. He finished with 17 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists.
At it again.
And he was probably, I think from memory, the Wizards had a bit of a lead, and he come back and hit some of those big 3-pointers that he likes to do, and got him back in there.
Stretch.
Yeah, that's his second big game in as many weeks, and he's sort of establishing himself as the dominant scorer on that team. And so he should. He stands about 7'2" if you ask him. So, good on him for getting up there and sinking a few buckets.
Yeah, and Nick Cooper as well. He finished with 7 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals.
It's quiet
so
for Nick.
He even spread on the stats board.
You need Nick to lift and Alex to lift, and all of a sudden you're knocking off top teams.
Yeah.
7 points is so quiet for Nick, and Alex obviously isn't on the list. He obviously had a quiet one. He's capable of scoring 20-something points easy.
Well, he was the league leader in scoring last season, so you'd be looking towards Alex to get a bit more aggressive and put a couple more shots up every game and sink a couple.
So you calling him out?
Yeah, Nick and Al, man. You guys got to pull your heads in.
All right, moving on to the third game of the round. The Matadors 62. Defeating the Koalas 33. This was a bit of a one-sided affair. Unfortunately for the Koalas, they were missing 3 players, so they only had the 5, and 2 of those guys
first and second rounders. Yeah,
first and second rounders. So yeah, they were up against it from the get-go, and the Matadors, I think their first 12 or 14 points, they were shooting at 100%. They didn't miss, and Leon Stapley with a couple of big threes early on. Yeah,
you could sort of tell, like the first shot was Leon's, and it was a 3-pointer. It just didn't even look like missing. So after the first sort of 5 minutes, you thought it was going to be a long night for the Koalas.
Well, I think from memory, the Koalas stick with them. So it was a 3 by Leon, a 3 by Vish, and then it was back and forth, and it was a really good start. Then
it was too.
And then the Matadors ran away with it, and our the geriatric of the league, Leon Stapley, finished with 26 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 8 trays. That's huge.
Yeah, he had the Midas touch.
That's the Leon we remember.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's capable of doing that on a nightly basis, and that's why he was a first-round pick. He can, you blink and he's got 25 points.
Yeah. Now, it was an even spread of points, I guess, after that for the Matadors. Rob Middleton popped up with 13 and 7. Dom Lunny finished with 10 and 7 and 5 assists. Just the even spread. Lockie, the Matador's big, is playing some really good basketball at the minute. He probably goes unnoticed a little bit, but doing it at both ends of the floor. I know, speaking to my brother, he's one that he's really happy with, just getting up and down the floor and doing what he's meant to be doing.
You got to be happy with 15 rebounds.
Yeah, that's it.
But he seems somewhat of a quiet achiever, but he's doing exactly what that team needs. They need someone inside rebounding the ball and giving them second chances. So he does a really good job of that.
So what happens for the Koalas from here, do you think? Because they're clear bottom of the ladder at the minute in 11th spot. And again, we sit here and say each team can do really well. They're just not at the minute. Where do they go?
If I'm the Koalas, I probably look at trading Kiwi Chem across to the Reapers maybe. And, we'll see if we can help him out with someone.
Yeah, okay.
They had the
why don't you just package it and take robes off him as well?
We could look at that actually. That'd be good.
The integrity unit's going to be all over it.
No, I think from here I would probably look at the trade market. Maybe they've been missing players every week, so maybe look at someone who's going to be rocking up every week and
a little bit of consistency.
Yeah, just to stabilise that ship a bit.
Yeah.
Because at the start of the season we were talking about what a great list they had.
Yeah, correct. And, with that list, Chris Vischer, he finished with 12 points and 9 rebounds for that game. And Ryan Bell finished with 8 points and 10 boards. So he was working 40 minutes. He just doesn't stop, that bloke.
Belly's got some legs too. Like he's another one of those guys that's really quick up and down the floor, and he's got some hops.
Yeah.
So, he can get up there.
Now, moving on to our old late night time slot, which is somewhat mid-table now. Our fourth game, we had the Dandy Ducks taking on the Cardinia Crocs. Dandy getting up 61-44.
Yeah, a good game to watch, I thought, for the first half at least. The Ducks they've looked strong in every game they've played, and last night was no different.
Yeah, and I just think it comes down to that shooting efficiency again. The Crocs didn't have it because they had just as many shots. They were just as competitive as the Ducks were, but the Ducks just put the points on the board.
Yeah, I look at that Crocs side, and you look at the shooters that they've got. They've got Stowey, who's a knockdown shooter.
Yeah.
Mitch Thomas, who's obviously been shooting very well early in the season, and Riley Lanting, another knockdown shooter.
Yeah, he had a couple of decent threes as well on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Having his little brother sitting in the corner, egging him on a little bit. But yeah, that's the thing. And, even with Serge and Riley and that, they've got a good, well-balanced all-round team.
Yeah.
But just another side that just don't seem to be getting wins on the board at the minute.
I think if they look to take advantage of that shooting prowess that they've got and really sort of make the floor stretch by knocking down threes, the rest of the buckets will come. Like, they'll be able to drive the ball into the lane and make life easier on White to score as well.
Yeah. I actually think they need to take a leaf out of the Dandenong Ducks book and just get some transition buckets. The Ducks just run and led by Joey. Like, he just runs the floor and it's easy points. But, the Crocs have that ability to do the same thing, especially with Serge and Wyatt and Riley.
Oh,
they
Riley's
get out
the
and
king
run.
of cherry picking.
Yeah,
he knows what's up.
Yeah, he was making jam all night. But yeah, just get out and run.
Yeah,
and you think it'll open up a little bit more, and we'll see what happens from there.
Yep,
those Ducks are going to be real hard to beat.
Yeah, they've established themselves as a really dominant team in the league, so and good on them.
Now, moving on to the Wednesday morning game, Dale. Although you do the fixturing, you're quite disgusted with yourself, giving yourself a 9:50 time slot.
Yeah, and we've also got a 9:50 next week. I'm going to have a word to someone.
Stern talking to yourself in the mirror. It was the Reapers versus the Toucans, and you guys got up?
Yeah, I think we ended up getting up by about 9 points, but that wasn't really a reflection on how the game went. I think it was within a shot for a lot of that game.
Yeah, it was. It was actually a really good game. Like you said, it was back and forth all game. But yeah, I think you guys went to the line a little bit towards the end, and got you up by 9 points.
Yeah. I mean, we were pretty happy with coming away against the Toucans with a win because the quality side, they've got some good pieces there.
They're a big side too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you're not gonna drive the ball on Michael Stewart. He's about 7'5", and
even Spez is
He's a long guy,
deceptively long.
Yeah. So I mean, we found ourselves sort of taking shots around the foul line a fair bit, and sort of not taking the ball in as much as what we normally would.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we were able to get the job done.
Yeah, and probably a shout out to Hayden Taylor. His defensive efforts over the last couple of weeks, and in particular that game on Tuesday night, was nothing short of sensational.
Yeah,
and I think it comes from where his basketball background and the leagues that he's played in the past. Like he's been playing fantastic.
Yeah, I mean he's no stranger to basketball, but now he's playing football now, and so he's super fit.
Yeah.
So he's got the fitness up, and he's got that basketball smart. So I reckon he's actually probably one of the league's best defenders.
Yeah. Wow. I hope my brother doesn't hear that, but he might be a little
lockdown 2.
He'd be up
2.0.
He works really hard.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And yeah, he had a cracking game. But another bloke out of your mob that had a cracking game, I feel, was Joshy Saunders.
Yeah, Josh.
He finished with 17 points and tore it apart.
Yeah, 17 and 7 I think he had, and really shot the ball well. He gave us a lift.
Well, those 165 people sitting on the baseline, were they all his mates?
They came down to watch the battle between, I think, Michael Stewart and those two. So
yeah, okay.
There's a bit of a rivalry there. So
yeah, right. And a shout out to Lockie Bethune as well, because he's been really important for you guys. Just
he's
defensive
been massive.
Boards at both ends. Really sound. Foul shooter. He's been really good for you guys.
He was, I think, our 8th round pickup, and he's been nothing short of sensational. Like he's really long and he can jump. So he's blocking a lot of shots and changing a lot of shots, which is just gold for us.
So Michael Stewart, Josh Saunders, and Lockie Bethune, the country boys, maybe Super League needs to start investing out that way and start bringing them down this way, because those 3 boys in particular, they're just killing it.
Yeah, they're doing really well.
I have no more. That pretty much ties up this
Player of the Week?
With round of Southeast Super League. We do have Player of the Week. It is locked up. It is. Well, I think it was a bit of a landslide in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Leon Stapley winning Player of the Week by a pretty comfortable margin, and good on him.
Like 8 threes. Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Could have kicked it in at the end, I think.
I actually think, no disrespect to Leon, because he's one of my favourite players in Super League, and he played a fantastic game. But geez, Liam Malcolm's probably a bit stiff to miss out.
Well, I felt so. Like, I mean, for it to just be a landslide too. Like Leon had a great game, but Liam had a massive game in all areas.
Massive, yeah.
So I mean, good on him, Leon, for getting that, and it's well deserved too. So.
Come and get your burgled voucher and get down there and have a burger and chips.
Yeah.
But until next time, thanks for joining us, Greg. You're an amazing man.
All right, boys.
All the best.
Thanks for having me.
Take care. See you later. We'll be back after this ad. That's excellent.
Horn Industrial Coatings, official naming sponsor of the Southeast Super League. A family-run business with over 15 years' experience, Horn Industrial Coatings specialise in a range of epoxy flooring solutions for both commercial and industrial applications. There's no job too big or too small for Horn Industrial Coatings. If you've got a project at home that needs a flooring solution, reach out to Dean for some expert help with your flooring needs. Be it a workshop at home, a basketball court out in the backyard that needs surfacing, Horn Industrial Coatings have got your floor covered. For more information about Dean's wide range of flooring solutions, visit hornindustrialcoatings.com.au. Proud naming sponsor of the Southeast Super League.
And up next we have the Elite competition, which was played a few days ago. I'm here with Braden Venning.
Hey.
From the GM from the Hornets, and obviously Greggy Wise yet again, who's playing for the Vikings.
Good to be back, boys.
Now, lads, first game off the rank was at 6:30, and we had the Pirates versus your Hornets, and you got the Chockies, winning 81-63.
Mate, you can't deal. Twin Towers, doing work.
Well, they did, because Nathan Dodgson finally turned up to play for your lot, finishing with 27 points, 10 rebounds, and earned himself a Player of the Week nomination.
Yeah, he's an absolute beast. He has had 2 terrible weeks. Terrible weeks. I went, this is the guy I drafted with my second pick.
Yeah.
Coming off a Youth League MVP.
There were concerns on your end. But he was joined with Lewis Newman, having 24 points and 9 boards at a massive game. Both of them together, the dynamic duo.
Yeah, everyone's been saying these Twin Towers won't work.
You know what happened to the Twin Towers, don't you?
That's... Yeah, but the Buzz City Twin Towers doing work. No one can compete with that height.
They did very well, and it was somewhat of a convincing win over a depleted Pirates outfit. But one bloke that did stand up against your Twin Towers was James Toppy Top, finishing with 21 points and 14 rebounds. You know what to expect from this bloke week in, week out.
Yeah.
Just gets it done.
He's an animal.
Yeah, he did really well. What was your game plan coming in against the Pirates? Was there anything in particular? Was it to work with the bigs and get the ball inside, or?
We just turn up, have a bit of fun, and see what happens. That's pretty much it. Like, them not having Jordan is a huge win.
And Cam Andre.
Yeah, big swaggy. He's a sexy fella, one of the best looking guys in the league.
Yep.
And I think they really missed his leadership.
Yeah, they did. And obviously Jordan Page was missing, like you said, so it makes it tough, you know, missing a high caliber player like that.
Yeah.
Do we know why he's missing?
Away. Yeah, he was on holidays.
He's been on holidays this whole time, or was it just this week?
Yeah, just this week.
All right. That's right.
Yeah, so, moving on to the second game, we had the Vikings 71 going down to the Mustangs 78. This was a cracking game. You were a part of this one, mate.
Look, it felt like a good game until sort of towards the end, and then I think we knocked a couple down to make it a bit of a closer one.
Yep.
But, 71-78 on paper doesn't look as good as I felt like it was.
Well, you guys started out pretty strong. I think you led for pretty much the first half, and that's when the Mustangs got on top and chipped away at it, and got the win in the end.
I think we sort of ran out of legs.
There was one person in particular that stood out for me in this game.
Greg Wise.
No, it wasn't. Greg Wise was fairly average. It was Tommy Walsh, finished with 25 points, 3 steals. He shot the ball at 90%, and he was 5 from 5 from the 3-point line.
Yeah, he's a ball.
That's ridiculous. And joined by Vlad Tankov with 21 points and 11 rebounds as well.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah,
so big, and he just nails them from like quarter court.
Yeah.
And Aaron as well. He finished with 19 points, 6 boards and 2 assists.
They were cooking from deep.
Yeah, Aaron knocked a few threes as well, didn't he?
They were just constantly step down, step in, at whack, it's over.
So I mean, we felt good, and then we looked at the scoreboard, and it's like, oh, these guys are hitting everything.
I mean, I think that's why their fearless leader, James Langford, put that side together. He knew what he was after, and it's starting to pay off now.
Yeah, Jimmy knew what he was doing, drafting some older guys who got something to prove.
Yeah, that's it. Shout out to Dill Larkin, finishing with 25 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals. And Mike Godfrey as well, finishing with 26, 5 and 3. Those guys really led the way. And
Greg Wise, 13 points, I think 5 rebounds or something.
Wow,
like that.
that's really good.
Shot the ball at 60%.
Yeah,
solid player.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, I like it. He's a pretty good looking guy as well.
You reckon?
Yeah.
There you go. Now let's just move straight on before I get stuck between you two talking about Greg Wise. Third game was the Berwick Sharks 53 versus the Silverbacks 63. The old boys getting it done again.
Sharks are struggling, man.
Yeah, Sharks are in trouble.
Sharks are.
Is it something that they can? Is it something that they can fix themselves? Do they need to go to the trade table? Like, what do you think? Where they're at?
They need a big.
I think they need to get a sniff of blood.
Yeah.
A big? Any big?
That's what they need. I've got 2 of them.
Who's
they
their
can't
big?
touch them.
Banger's not a big?
They need a slightly bigger big. Banger's been doing work though.
He has been working hard.
He's
been working
putting
overtime.
up some numbers. And he's a very serviceable big man, but they just need a couple more scorers.
Yeah.
Yeah, players like Vlad and Louis.
Well,
they
need
maybe a Greg Wise.
They need players around, like they're probably their 2 main stars.
Yeah.
Lee Belton finished with 21 points, 11 boards. Trent Lee had 8, 6, 3, 2, and 1.
Yeah, he's just stat sheet stuffer.
Yeah,
He's so good.
getting it done.
Yeah.
And obviously Banger as well, finishing with 10 points and 6 rebounds.
He was strong.
Yeah.
Were you the game?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
he was playing really strong.
Yeah, he bodied Lewis the
He was
week
working
before as
hard.
well. He absolutely tore Lewis apart.
So is it something that he's able to achieve? Do they need to get another 4-man and have those two just go at it?
Yeah, maybe play a bit more through Banger.
Yep.
Like Lee's always going to put up numbers. Like you can't really stop him. He's massive strides in the Euro step.
Yeah.
He fakes everyone out, and if he's hitting the 3 ball, there's not much he can do. But he just needs a bit more help.
More surrounding him, but not to take credit away from the Silverbacks. They had a fantastic game. Reece Boreham was their leader. He had 20 points, 5 rebounds. Paul Phillips 15 points and 9 boards and 5 assists. And Logan Mills had an absolute cracker. He finished with 9 points and 11 rebounds.
Yeah, he got on the end of a lot of transition.
Yeah,
which
just
is
ran
really
the floor,
good, yeah.
and that's probably what that Silverback team need, because you've got Paul Phillips, you've got Ben Collins, you've got Jeff Reed, who are the older bodies. To have some of these younger kids, just getting transition buckets, it's really important.
Well, when
for
they've
them.
got Reece and when Nick Lang's playing, like if you got those 3 just running, you're going to get some easy buckets. Slow it down, you got Paul who's going to body them.
Yeah,
like Jeff's going to step into a 3,
and they did really well to get that game without Jeff being on holidays.
Yeah.
So, are they finals contenders? Do you think the Silverbacks?
Yeah,
They'll be top 4.
First year
Top
in the league,
4?
they'll be right up there. We played them first round, and we struggled.
Yeah,
It's the only loss for the year so far. And, they were impressive.
very good. Now, the late night special was a spectacle. It was the Dragons 63 to the Pacers 95. Just an absolute pasting.
Yeah, Pacers can put it up.
Yeah, they can. Do you want to read that first line out for the Pacers, or do you want me to do it?
Oh,
It pains me to even say it.
yeah.
I'll do it, boys.
Don't want to give him credit.
Simo, 28 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Player of the Week nomination.
7 from 10 from the 3-point line.
Was absolutely bullying out.
Well, we can confirm now that it was a draw between Nathan Dodgson and Simo. It's gone to a re-vote, and Simo has won by 3 votes. So Simo Pajdic has got Player of the Week.
He needs a lockdown defender on him like me.
Yeah.
He scored like 5
I
points
reckon
that
it's
first
probably
week.
his misso teaching him a few things finally. He's finally listening.
Yeah.
He's feeling a little bit more relaxed, and
It's taken a while.
Yeah, I think credit where credit's due goes to Shannon Patterson.
Yeah.
But not to take any focus away from the rest of that Pacers team. They were actually absolutely sensational. Dylan Donnelly, he finished with 28, 3 and 3. And Nathan Malloy finished with 14 and 11 as well. And like Ned Wiedemann, that's another just getting it done.
Solid game, but for them to score 95 points and Neil to only have 7, or what was it? Yeah, 7 points.
7 points.
Like, that's pretty impressive.
Neil was pretty well, but you look at the rest of his stats. He had 12 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks.
Yeah.
So he was looking after the rest of the boys.
Yeah. They're going all right. They can put it up in bunches.
Well, it was funny. There was a little bit of a debate between Neil and Lee Belton, and Neil was fairly confident in them, hitting that 90 point mark consistently. And this is the first time that they've done it. And I think you're right, especially with the likes of of Neil and Cody Fredrickson and Malloy and these guys can just run and gun.
Yeah. And I think it helps out when you got Matt Burkett, one of the worst defensive players in the league, defending Simo. And Simo hit 6 of 6 on him.
Yeah. And credit where credit's due, Burko did have his hand out a couple of times. They were very deep threes.
The guy's 8 foot tall.
Yeah, Burko ran away from him after a while.
Yeah.
But in such a big loss for the Dragons, there was a standout for me, and that was Big Matt Darcy. 20 points, 7 boards, 5 trays. He just kept working and working. He doesn't know any other way but to just work hard.
Yeah. Gets in the teeth of the D, kicks it out.
Yeah.
And if he's got his 3 ball going, like 5 threes, I haven't seen him hit that for a while.
Yeah,
That's
it's been
fantastic.
a while. Yeah, that's good to watch him play. And although I kind of thought that Burko had a quiet game, in comparison to a few other guys, but he finished with 17 and 12. So can you imagine if he put his foot down and started working? Like he can really tear this league apart.
Yeah.
If you had the same work ethic as Matt Darcy.
Oh, he'd be unstoppable.
Dangerous.
He'd be very dangerous.
I'm just waiting for him to dunk on someone. I don't think he's got the balls to do it.
He's going to fold up like a lawn chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit precious, but I think over time, he might grow into somewhat of a man. But we'll see what happens.
I don't hold your hopes. Like he's no.
But that brings us to the end of our recap for the elite competition and all three of our divisions. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being with us, boys. You're a great help on such a late night. And we will see you all again next week. Thanks very much. Hi guys, Commissioner Tristan Blacker here. Joined with me is Dale Taylor, President of Basketball Operations. We wanted to bring to you an event that we've been working on over the last couple of weeks. We were fortunate enough to enter a team against the Brisbane Filipino University a few weeks ago. We had a practice match, which we did quite well in.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I think we ended up with the W, but...
We had a few boys shooting the ball really well, and it was a great morning before AFL Grand Final last Saturday, and we've been fortunate enough to organise a practice match at Super League Stadium on Wednesday the 10th of October, and that same team that we entered will be playing against Ho Chi Minh City, a team from Vietnam that are over here touring and playing a few games. So we implore you all to get down and watch a great night of basketball. We're going to be putting on a really good display with some of our best Super League players, and this Ho Chi Minh City team are no joke. They've got some fantastic players, and it should be a really good game.
Yeah, that's right. So in the tournament that they played, I think they finished, it was third.
Yep.
A really young sort of side that gets up and down the floor and knows how to hustle and play defence.
Yep.
And they'll be going a million miles an hour, so something to look forward to.
Yeah, correct. And it's we're going to have that as game 2 of the night. So it'll be in between our Super League women's competition. So our first girls game will be 6:30. Then we'll play this exhibition game at 7:30, and then the last girls game at 8:30. So for anyone that's interested, it's $2 door entry fee. Come in, watch a great night of basketball, and have a heap of fun.
Yeah, I can't wait.
See you then. Thanks very much.